Testing, testing, testing. Ah, yes. Alright. Up and running. Let me see something here. Something doesn't look right from my perspective. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Alright. So we are back. How are we looking, people? Audio, video, life clear at the moment, or what? I'll just probably check this on my end from a phone. Alright, I think we might be good. Alright, next thing. Hold on. Alright, so just if I work with it, for some reason the frame rate they drop. How is the quality on you guys in? Oh wow. Okay, so that's playing. Alright. Very tired. Yo, Akil, what going on? It's long day, eh? Sid, why pre? I'm not even listen to your messages them. So we'd have to tap out tonight. Well, as I said, this stream won't be like hours and hours. It might be just about 40 minutes, 40 something minutes, just like the last one. So you can always pre-back when you get the chance. Sid, how the quality plan you're in? Because the frame rate that dropped from OBS from my end here, so I just want to make sure. Of course, all of those persons will be, you know, rewatching and tuning into this after, you know, this goes up. Welcome to my channel. I'm Sanjae Uchiha, your friendly neighborhood Uchiha, drinking a cup of tea, of course. Of course, tonight we'll be tackling Boruto Manga Chapter 64. This month we'll be doing a live reaction / review. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to this chapter. And to be honest, I'm very proud of this thumbnail. it looks sick, we're not gonna lie. So, yeah. But without further ado, well, before, how is everyone tonight? That's the question of the night. But that aside, we can get into this chapter. Leave your comments and everything in the, you know, comment section below. Like the stream, the video. You know the drill. So let me come over here. We got the page loaded up already. I already said the quality smooth and thing. So load up chapter 64. Got Shikamaru on the cover. Chapter title Control. Yeah man, Akil, if you ever go asleep and just come back, then no problem, brother. As me say, just like last month's stream, which was what, 40 something minutes. So yeah, can always pre-back and then we take it from there. So, and then of course, you know, saying, well, next week and a half is the end of month subscriber stream. So yeah, but without further ado, of course guys, welcome back to the stream. Share it out if anything. Like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Boruto chapter 64, Control. Alright, so we have Borushiki, or Boruto in control of his Borushiki transformation at least. Alright, so nice. There we are. Probably should make myself just a bit bigger, maybe. Okay, I think that works. Alright. You've been freed too, Kawaki. Where's your smile? I'll find the 10 tails that Ishiki hid somewhere and then feed you to it and claim its fruits. You bastard, how dare you come out again? If Ida. Uzumaki Boruto, you're quite a puzzle. Momoshiki's consciousness, why does it emerge to this degree when you're still only a vessel? Move back more, Kawaki. It ain't safe. Alright, so as we expected, Boruto's in control. Running on, Karma. Could it be? Shadow Clone Jutsu. Alright. Here we go. I see. He's stronger. Alright. So, it's not level 2 Karma. It's still level 1, but he's actually tapping into the true potential of it, like how Code described last chapter. So, yeah, it's more level 1. So, Karma level 1 version 2. That's on extra. Alright, so attacking, and then he marked Boruto jumping, and then wait, voila. So he marked Boruto, him slipped through, and then that attack, yeah, the other clone. Yo, this is wild. Yo, this is gonna look kind of cool in the anime once it reach up to this point. Alright. So, of course, Boruto grabs the arm. Oh, nice. We can pull him back through. I mean, that makes sense. Alright. What? Alright. Oh, did he connect? Yeah. Punches could. Leave some more claw marks. Sheesh, such an annoying ability. What power? Much more than usual. I don't get it though. It's still Boruto who's in control. When D managed to... Talk to me, Ida. I wonder if it's an effect of Amado's meds. Okay, see? It's like we were saying, the meds are finally coming... Well, it's not confirmed yet. I'm probably being a bit premature. But at least you're starting to actually mention it. Your palm belt. Alright, so I can't tell exactly what's going on inside Boruto's body, but at the very least, it seems he's now able to channel Momoshiki's power without his mind getting taken over. Meds? I wouldn't write him off. It won't be funny if you go down before you regain your true strength. Alright, fair enough. Huh? Boruto's chakra? Yep, forget about Kawaki. Switch everyone over to Homin and Boruto's chakra. A few dozen clicks around the village. Stat. I'm so sorry, Lord 7. This is what this drone in your dog. Honestly. I swear I had my eyes on them. I don't know what. What's done is done. You heard me. Hurry up and search for Boruto. I suspect that's also where Kawaki will be. Alright. Naruto. Meditating. Shikamaru. Worst case, the enemy too. Code may have already tracked down Kawaki. Even killed him. Shikamaru, what are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I can't let you go alone. You don't have Kurama's power anymore. It'd be suicide. I know that. The man just still a treat Naruto away. But let's see what happens. Are you telling me to abandon the kids? Calm down, let me finish. No one's thinking about trying to stop you. Then I'm going with you. Since unfortunately Sasuke isn't back from tracking Code yet. Seriously? So where is Sasuke then? Honestly. And Sai's on Amado guard duty. Shikamaru. I know, it'll be dangerous. I don't want to argue with you. Just be grateful we're not stopping you. We'll head out as soon as Boruto's located. Naruto. Hinata. Honestly, I still don't know if I feel about Hinata in the manga in terms of the design. Because it's not like... Her hair isn't this short in the anime, is it? No? So, yeah. I'll go too. I can't just stay still. Oh shit, is Kishimoto actually giving Hinata something to do? No way. Think of Himawari. What if something happens to you? Stay here, please. Alright. I know how you feel, but please don't insist, Hinata. Listen to Naruto. For my sake, if nothing else. Alright, so... Mawari, Hima. It'll be okay, right, Papa? We'll come back safely with Big Bro and Kawaki. Alright, Sage Mode. Well, regular one. Of course, have you forgotten who your dad is? Naruto, Boruto, Kawaki, please stay safe. So the interesting part about this now is the fact that Naruto's lost Kurama, right? Is it that his 6-part Sage mode is gone with it? Because this is regular Sage mode, you know. So it's gonna be up for discussion. It's gonna be something up for discussion, I feel. So anyway, okay, so we have Boruto here. Continues. Seems I can't absorb these claw marks. They must not be made of chakra. Alright, Boruto testing the waters. They're mostly physically embodied chakra, but there's iron mixed in from his blood, making them composites, enough to be considered physical matter. Okay, interesting. And thus karma can't absorb them, so be careful. More importantly, what's up with you? Where the heck did Momoshiki go? Don't know. Whether it's an effect of the meds or not, it's never happened before. Which means it's unreliable. Ugh, you better not suddenly lose control. Worry later. For now, let's focus on taking him down, cause that'll solve everything, won't it? Alright, so at least in a case like this, them actually stand a chance, because with the experience and the power of Momoshiki and Kawaki, and you know, quotes that his limiters on, them actually could possibly win. Possibly. Or probably I'm jumping the gun. Who knows, probably Code can have like a level 2 karma transformation too. Whatever the effect of those meds of Amados, they can't actually get rid of Momoshiki. You're still Otsutsuki, now and beyond. How does he know about the meds? Not that it matters to me, whether you're Boruto or Momoshiki, as long as a divine tree germinates from feeding you to the 10 tails. And that seems safe. No quality related problems at all. You'll be a top-notch sacrifice. No thanks. My answer is never gonna change. You know what I'm interested in seeing? Can Boruto, or will they have Boruto actually use the Byakugan now? I mean, he basically has it. So, you see me. Bushmaster. 6 parts, current so till least since 9 tales have gone. You see, the thing, this kind of comes back to the whole, you know, things being ambiguous when it comes on to 6 parts. Ever since transitioning from part 2 to Boruto, because 6 parts Senjutsu should be like independent of his Steel Beast chakra. You see me? So, but anyway, let's continue for now at least. The completion of your Otsutsufication is no longer an issue of if but when. I'll be back for you once you reach peak ripeness. Until then. Peak ripeness? Like, bro, this man is like 80-something%. I mean, wouldn't it be a risk on quotes part to wait? I mean, Momoshiki could take over, and then what are you gonna do? Well, then if he has his limiters removed, who knows? But anyway, transport takes Kawaki. Goodbye for now. It was fun, Uzumaki Boruto. I'll see you soon. Hey, hold up. Let's go, Kawaki. She's waiting. Alright, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Block. Hey, Kawaki. Glad you're finally joining the party. Alright. Transport. What is this, Kawaki? I thought you agreed to come with me. Don't get the wrong idea. Everything I've done and do is all for Lord Seventh. Exactly. And if we can just take you down, that would be the fastest and easiest. Gah, I'm starting to get pissed off at both of you. Fine, let me make this clear. It'll go better for you if you just obey me. Is that all you gotta say? Then come, let's settle this. Alright. Like, even with this panel here, Manala, like, again, we've said this before, but Ikemoto's art has, like, yo, Manala, it just improved, you see me, like, considerably from chapter 1. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much more he actually, you know, evolves. But, yo, this is a great panel right here with Boruto. Alright, I've found Boruto, roughly 40 clicks to the northwest. And there's someone else whose chakra I don't recognize. Is it Code? Damn it. You know, you there? We know where Boruto is. We're heading there now. Our enemy is elusive. Maintain high alert across the whole village. Copy that. Be careful, Shikamaru. Alright. Let's go. Naruto, that sage mode of yours. You can't sustain it that long, right? How long do you think? Don't worry. Quite a lot longer than before, actually. Call it the wisdom of age. Come on. Ugh, what wisdom of age? All right, so I'm glad you mentioned that because you'd think after like 15 plus years, yeah, you must have managed to, to master stage mode and be able to maintain it for a decent amount of time. Not true? Guys, be sure to like up the stream. 7 persons here, but only 3 likes. Come on. Don't do your friendly neighborhood Uchiha like that, please. Alright, so here we go. So Naruto and Shikamaru. Interesting combination. Listen, don't overdo it, Naruto. Okay? Yeah, I know. Why, them just a treat Naruto? We so Jano. Alright. So Boruto going against Kudsumi. Dodge. Bokim. Yeah. Disappear. Come back. Liquid Boruto. Alright. Wait, well on. Hold on. We confuzzled a while ago. So, him appear behind Boruto, lick him away. Boruto looks back, does a hand sign, and is behind Quad? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm confused. hold on. So, hold on. Let's go back. So, him kick a code, go through the markings, appear behind Boruto, liquid Boruto, head towards Boruto, and then I guess he does the vanishing Rasengan. Or is it just this right here, but just from a different angle than I look on it? Probably that, I guess. It's a vanishing Rasengan. Alright. Bastard. He used claw marks to teleport away from the Rasengan. That was a bit of a close call. I'll have to watch for those vanishing Rasengans. Damn it, wasn't close enough for us. Close call. Not funny, you idiot. Quit fooling around. So cheap tricks don't work. Ah well, I guess we just have to go all out. Alright. Oh, shit. And starting to run out? Are losing consciousness? Hey, Boruto. Alright, so that's where the chapter ends. What to say? I mean, first impressions. I mean, it's really a mostly an action-based chapter. Lots of fighting between Boruto and Code. And like we kind of expected. And I'm glad to see that the meds that Amado was giving him kind of starting to come into play. So that's the interesting part about this. But before, I want to hear what you guys think about the chapter. Yo, Code being his soaker right now, talking about ripeness. Yo, real thing. Alright, so heart attack. Probably. Let me just kind of compose my thoughts on the chapter for the sake of the review section, because I'm not going to create a dedicated review video after this. It's just straight discussion videos going forward, for the most part. Boom, I'm scrolling all the way back up. Let's see. Hold on, I'm looking back for a particular line. Give me 1 sec, people. There's a line by Ida. Alright. Grape flavored. Alright, so this chapter I thought was decent. Of course, when it comes on to chapter 64, I personally, as I said, love the fact that the medication that the Byakugan suppressing pills that Amado gave Boruto are finally coming into play. Not only because it allows Boruto to get like a reliable, well, quote-unquote reliable power-up to, you know, channel Momoshiki's power when he's in, you know, Karma level 1, but at the same time, it kind of moves things along in terms of how things are going to go with Boruto's body, how his power dynamic is going to, you know, work going forward. Because as I was saying in my expectations video a few days ago, all of this is just laying the groundwork to see how Boruto's, like, you know, I guess list of abilities are going to work, like the dynamics of it going into the time skip, like, you know, similar to like in part 1 Naruto, part 2 Naruto. Okay, if Naruto gets too angry, he's gonna lose control, yada yada yada, you know, just kind of getting a better idea of all of that. And of course by the end there we see that something more is actually happening to his body, so there's that. Of course that's gonna kind of raise the, I guess, the tension, and I guess at the same time it does introduce that even though Boruto, based on this chapter, is like ridiculously powerful, the fact that he's going up against, you know, even though Code does have his limiters on, Boruto at this point is definitely one of the strongest persons in the verse, bar none. Like, no, not even exaggeration, you know what I mean? So there's that. But at the same time, with the pills and all that it represents, by the end of this chapter we see that there is some, seemingly some consequence. There isn't any, like, it's not a free meal when it comes on to Boruto using this ability. There's some setbacks, some drawbacks. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kishimoto goes forward and balances that when it comes on to the whole, you know, Boruto going forward. And potentially, who knows, the effect this is going to have on his body can, you know, potentially be the gateway for the Drogon appearing in the manga. I know we say this from like month to month to month, but this is the only logical way I see. But yeah, would like to see Boruto learn other genres, Rasengan and Shadow clones. I mean, he does have lightning, water, and wind style. He did use lightning style in like early in this fight, so yeah. So there's that. No, in terms of Boruto's like raw power, as I was saying, definitely one of the strongest persons in the verse right now. The fact that he's able to, you know, channel Momoshiki's power without him being taken over, if even only for like a short amount of time. So it's going to be interesting to see like how Boruto himself really compares to everybody. Even though we can probably get a good idea from this fight with Code, even though I still don't think Code's going all out with, you know, with the limiters in mind, but obviously Code has to be trying in this case. So Boruto definitely ridiculous, but it kind of has me wondering how things are going to balance out. This is more of a concern, how things are going to balance out when it comes on to the other members of Team 7 once again, because again, when it comes on to the manga, even though 1 and 2 chapters ago we had some Sarada and Mitsuki in the mix, but again it just feels like they're being left behind, and I'm wondering what Kishimoto is going to do to make them, you know, somewhat comparable to Boruto in the long term. So that's the real concern I really have for this. More to be pulling these women. True, not gonna lie. The next thing I'll say, how do you guys feel about the treatment of Naruto? Because this is kind of like what I was saying with an old video of mine. Well, not old, but between last month. Yeah, I think it was last month or earlier this month. Yeah, last month, when I was talking about how Kishimoto might handle things when it comes on to Naruto going forward. Because again, even though the lore is there where Naruto, even without the Nine Tails, should be ridiculously powerful the same way, should be very competent. Again, the treatment of Naruto, like, yo, you don't have the Nine Tails anymore. You don't have the Nine Tails anymore. Don't go all out. Don't push yourself too much. I'm hoping and I'm praying that Kishimoto gives Naruto like a nice, amazing fight to show how competent he still is, especially with the fact that he's using Sage mode here. I'm hoping he still has something in his back pocket. Yo, I mean, no comments on the Mitsuki. Ida, yo, listen, when Ida gets into the anime, it's going to be something else. Let me see. Lights, I'm gonna start to beat me, but again, the next thing coming out of this chapter, as I said, is going to be a point for discussion, is the fact that since Naruto is using Sage mode right now, regular Sage mode and not 6-path Sage mode, it begs the question, like, does he no longer have any 6 paths abilities? Because Granted, if he really doesn't have any six parts powers, no, then then I could definitely see why you persons in universe would be saying, yo, dad, just don't push yourself too much, is I mean. So that would make sense. I was kind of iffy on the whole, comments when it comes on to Sage Mode by Shikamaru in terms of Naruto not being able to use it for a long period of time. But, Naruto coming with this whole wisdom. Well, let me find back the line. Hold on there. Hold on, where is it? Or did I pass it? Probably if I'm pass it. Think longer than before, actually. The wisdom of age. Don't worry, quite a lot longer than before, actually. Call it the wisdom of age. I wonder if Kishimoto is letting Naruto be like intentionally vague there when it comes on to Naruto saying that. I wonder if there's more to that statement. Like, the wisdom of age. But I guess we'll see. Because Naruto's going in and Naruto versus Code? Anybody? Went so far in Shippuden. Yeah, I do agree, William. Sage Mode only went so far. Into active Sage Mode instead of why does Naruto need clones? I think the clones are for when like Sage Mode runs out on the main body, and then he, of course, like his similar strategy in the Pain arc. But you'd think by now he wouldn't necessarily need that, so I understand. Yeah, Sage Mode only went so far in Shippuden and William, as you were saying, but I think I still think it could have been so much more for Naruto before we got into the whole chakra modes and all of that. So there's that. First, I do love that Kishimoto is involving, even though there's nothing like definitive that they're doing, but I do love the fact that we get just a bit of Himawari and Hinata in this, and not just, let's just leave it to the anime to flesh out some scenes with them expressing like concern for what's going on right now. I mean, it's minor, kinda, but I do appreciate that Kishimoto actually involved them in this chapter to say, yo, what's gonna happen? Because it does feel like we're building towards like something super serious happening right here, right now. Boom, boom. But again, as I said, like, even by the end here with Boruto's performance and everything, like, it really captures the interest of us, the audience, in terms of what's going to happen next. Because you get this power, but at the same time, it seems like there are going to be some consequences, some reaction within Boruto's body, and I'm interested to see how it's going to actually pay off. In terms of the fight choreography though, let me know what you guys think. I think it's pretty decent, but I think it's going to look so much, well, better in the anime. But for what we got between, Code abusing the claw marks, Boruto pulling him through the claw marks, vanishing Rasengan, everything, Boruto really showing his skill. But of course, since he's channeling Momoshiki's power, of course he has Momoshiki's experience flowing through him, so he's basically a seasoned god level fighter at this point. So I'm interested to see what's actually going to happen. Also, they might use the Ninetales for it as well. Boruto will be bad guy and how about it hits? So they might use the Ninetales for it as well. What? As in what? Sage mode? What are you referring to, William? Black Zetsu took it. Naruto's IQ minus 89. Guys, of course, again, 11, but only 6 likes. Come on, like up the stream. How long have we been streaming? 32 minutes. All right, so I think that's pretty much it in terms of my thoughts for this chapter. As I said, I love the fact that Boruto has been put into a position where his power is like, definitely he's like one of the strongest persons in the verse, but at the same time, I really appreciate that there does seem like there's going to be some consequences for the pills suppressing Momoshiki. So, but I mean, we already Amado had already established that, so it is. But at the same time, it does build interest to see what's going to happen next, and it does lay the foundation and potential for Kishimoto to potentially introduce the Jogan, or at least potential, who knows. Because one of my expectations for this chapter was probably having Boruto have like an inner dialogue with Momoshiki. So it really lays the groundwork for almost anything to happen that we'd want to see happen in the story going forward. So kudos for the chapter for that. The choreography is pretty decent between Code and Boruto. And the fact that Boruto is doing so well does say a lot about his power. We didn't get Fangirl Ida this chapter, which is a major disappointment for me. So there is that. Of course, Naruto running into the battlefield, using regular siege mode. But apart from that, I thought this was a decent chapter. I think it did what it really needed to do for the most part. So yeah, and yo, again, just little praise to I'm not like artist and thing, but the art is like Ikimoto has really improved. Is all I'm saying. Like just this, I think this might be the best panel. Well, between this and like the siege mode panels of Naruto, like are definitely some of like the best like panels in this chapter. Like, yo, it's just a world of difference between like the first 10 the first 2 volumes of Boruto and now. So there's that. For now, didn't want the stream to be like too long, but I do want to interact and see what you guys are saying. So I am going to open up the call lines, as I usually do on these streams. Of course, link is in the description. Doop. Sasuke. Yo, and yeah, that's the next thing in terms of like the fact that Sasuke like Sasuke isn't back from trying to track down Code. To be honest, in terms of what Naruto is doing now, especially since he had the whole moment with Barren mode and everything, I was personally expecting Sasuke to really and truly be the one to actually come out and face off against Code for the most part. Alright, so I'll chill with you guys for a bit. The link to the chat is in the description. William, I'll go on. Hold on, let me just see how much persons are allowed. Okay, yeah, decent amount of persons. So I won't be long with you guys. I just want to kind of get your thoughts to, you know, add to the review portion of this. That's what you guys are saying.
You're not hearing an echo, right?
No, I'm not hearing no echo.
Okay.
Yo,
well, yeah, good night, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, haven't been on a few of these in a while, being busy.
Yeah, it's understandable. Adulting, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think about the chapter?
Well, usually for me, the chapters go by pretty fast unless something really, really epic, cool happens.
Yeah.
So I sped through it pretty fast. Usually it takes me, like, for example, watching other YouTube videos, discussions and stuff for me to really get into it and like checking out different stuff from the chapters. So when I'm reading the chapters, usually just goes by fast and it's whatever sometimes. But going back and seeing other people's thoughts and stuff, that is when I really get into it.
Take up the time, yeah. And I think because this chapter was like merely action, it went by even faster. Yeah. Hence why even me personally, that's why I don't have much more to say about the chapter outside of what I said already. But yeah.
You wanna know? That is the funny thing, right? If we get like a month, 2-3 months of dialogue, exposition, character stuff, some people would be complaining or start complaining. Yeah. But then they don't realize when the action comes, you don't really have much to talk about really unless it's some really cool stuff. Yeah. And then those fly by quickly and then you're like, where's the next chapter? So exactly. I guess it could be it's a double-edged sword in a way.
Yeah, definitely agree.
But yeah, it went by pretty fast. But as I said, now I'm thinking more of it like Code's abilities. I saw another video where someone is saying like they thought it would be more like hacks, which it is. But if you're dealing like with someone like Boruto and Naruto who are shadow clones, they could more counter code in a way. If you like from the chapter, if he's fighting like one or two persons, one on one, or even a small group, he could easily deal with them.
Yeah.
But someone like Naruto and Boruto who has like shadow clones that could walk together, plus the added strength from whether the Karma Seal or Sage mode, they could counter code.
Yeah, just like we saw in this chapter with like, you know, Boruto pulling the shadow clone pulling code back through the claw mark.
But it's still pretty Hack's ability if you really think about it. I mean, he could easily kill a bunch of people just by, like, when we first saw him using his abilities against the cult members, just like create a claw mark, put a claw mark on someone's chest or neck, make one next to him and cut dudes' throats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask, the two main things that that came from like my thoughts, but in terms of like Boruto and his current power, granted, it's not like it's new, but I think it's something we expected in terms of how powerful Boruto is right now. But I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Because even though I don't think Code isn't really going all out same way, even with his limiters, but he's obviously trying now.
Well, yeah, he's not trying to kill Boruto, obviously, but he's obviously protecting himself and going to take him down as best as he can. Yeah. And the fact that obviously Boruto is giving him a challenge at this point, which is understandable. Yeah. Because again, he's about 80-something%, and now he's got a little bit control of the power, along with his own ninja skills, and he's been a ninja for a long time now.
Yeah.
So just the added Momoshiki power onto that. If Code, for example, had gotten hit by that vanishing Rasengan, with the added boost from Momoshiki's the transformation, that would have messed Code up. Yeah. So right now, Boruto, as you said, is one of the strongest characters. But because of the pills, and even if he wasn't taking the pills, then Momoshiki would have had control.
Yeah.
So either way, there's a consequence of it. And to you, do you think this is a better consequence? Like, if he wasn't taking the pills, Momoshiki would have been in control. Who knows what he would be able to do and stuff. And since he's taking the pills and he's in control, but seemingly has the physical health issues from, it's either another side effect of the pills or the fact that this isn't a normal thing where he shouldn't be in control.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, with the fact that he's basically on the ground holding his chest now, I mean, any card can be played, which is what I really appreciate, because as you're putting, promise that case, he's not supposed to be in control and that's causing a problem, or it could be a side effect of the pills. But like, when I think about it now, in terms of the consequence, I feel like I kind of have a slight problem, because it's heavily implied in the chapter, right, that if he wasn't taking the pills, Momoshiki would be in control. But at the same time,
well, the thing with that is, I don't think if Momoshiki was in control, remember, Boruto has to be low on chakra.
That's what I was gonna get to, yeah, because he would have to be low on chakra. So,
but he wasn't. The fight hadn't really been going on for that long to do that from last chapter. So what I'm thinking is basically, it's the pills that allowed him, because of the fight and the anger and everything, allowed him to access that added power. If he wasn't taking the pills, it would have taken way more to get Momoshiki to come out.
So, well, yeah, definitely agree. So, what do you think? If he wasn't taking the pills, like, based on how last chapter went, when, you know, Code was about to step on him, you think he would have... What do you think would have happened in that case? Do you think he would have still been able to tap into this power, or...
Well, obviously, Code was, as far as I remember, he wasn't going for a killing blow, because...
No.
Well, I think the body still can be used, but in Code's mind, he would prefer for Boruto to get ripen further. So I doubt he was going for a killing blow, or he would have even killed, might have killed Boruto. Nah. Because remember in the Boro fight, before Boruto fully transformed, he was getting hit hard.
Yep.
It's just like with Kawaki, when Momoshiki had stabbed him in the back in the anime, and the blade didn't like it either didn't penetrate. He was saying like, "Oh, you've progressed far" or something.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like the further you get Otsutsukified, like obviously your body transforms. So like a knife stab won't penetrate or stuff like that. That is my headcanon in a way. I could be right.
Yeah.
Because if you remember from the episode when Momoshiki took over Boruto and he was fighting Kawaki, he went for the stab, and it's not like Kawaki activated his ninja tech. He got hit, but it didn't go through, and then Momoshiki was like, "You've progressed this far," or something.
Yeah.
So I think Veslos, after they reach this far, they can take way more damage and punishment than a normal human. Yeah. Like stabs and stuff like that wouldn't really seriously affect them.
I mean, it would only make sense.
Yeah, so I doubt stuff like that would have killed Boruto. He would have had to be really seriously battered, like from Ishiki or Boro, and then weakened because of less chakra and him fighting for Momoshiki to have come out, in my opinion. Right now, I think this is just basically because of the pills.
All right, fair enough. Do you think folks are expecting Shikamaru's death? Patel. What do you think about that? Folks,
I saw someone else mention it, and because if you think about it, Shikamaru got his own cover. It could have just been because they wanted to eventually give him his own cover. But the fact that he's gonna go along with Naruto and he might, that's the thing. I'm not sure if why is the whole term something's gone, that if you introduce something at the beginning, Chekhov's gone. You introduce something, if you don't use it, then what's the point? So what would it be the point of Naruto setting up Sage Mode, the clones, if he doesn't fight Code next month or towards the end of next month's chapter with the clones?
Yeah.
And then what would be the point of Shikamaru going if he also doesn't fight? So Portals are seeing like maybe death flags, or that he might get seriously messed up at least.
Possibly. I think I might. That's a good question, Patel. I might do like I might give it some more thought and do a discussion video on it. But
one thing though, when I first heard about how Code's power works, I see a way they probably put that so that, or at least Amado or Kishimoto put it in the story as a way that could like weaken Code, like the longer battle goes on with Code, and he
because when they were even mentioning the whole fact that he uses iron from his blood.
He uses his blood. I'm guessing is obviously ninja tech. Yeah. So it uses his blood and incorporates his chakra with it. So then each time he uses or produces a claw mark, from the way I'm understanding it, basically the bigger the claw mark, the longer, the more blood and chakra he uses and fuses together to create the claw mark, the strap. So the more he uses the ability throughout a fight, throughout a day, the less blood is in his body, as well as chakra.
Alright, well, Kawaki says they're mostly physically embodied chakra, but there's iron mixed in from his blood, making them composites, enough to be considered physical matter, and thus karma can't absorb them, so be careful. I think it would be more so if the fight stretches out and the more he uses it within like a short space of time. Probably he eventually does lose consciousness, but who knows? Maybe Amado might have something built in to kind of counteract that.
I could see that as a way Amado put like a restraint on him, even further, because the more he uses, obviously more chakra he expends, and he's not Uzumaki, so there's a limit. Plus, the more iron blood he uses as well, so he would have to take those out quickly, which makes sense why a lot of the times he goes for the kill straight up.
Yeah, definitely see. The next thing too, in terms of a potential Naruto versus Code, of course, I did do a video on, you know, how Kishimoto might handle Naruto from a combat standpoint. A few 2 weeks ago, give or take. I think I did 2 videos on it. But like, what are your expectations? Like, is 6 parts still in the mix? I mean, what do you think, bro?
Well, obviously Naruto and Sasuke no longer have the moon or sun seals. And a majority of chakra, he no longer has any Nine-Tails chakra. And the Nine-Tails connection to the other tail beast was how he would have been able to establish, you know, the meeting place he had and the connection with the other tail beast.
Yeah.
So now that's gone, unless the remaining chakra he had would be enough, which I doubt. Plus, it's not like he was actually the Jinchuriki of all of them. Nope. So I doubt at this point he actually has enough or any chakra from any of the other beasts. And if he does, it's minuscule, and I doubt he would be able to enter Sage or 6 parts mode. And if he does, it probably will last a lot less longer than Baryon mode. Right now, I think Naruto, Sage mode. Whenever Sage mode runs out, he would have the clones basically give him the Sage energy. Plus, we all know Naruto is a very tricky fighter. Even as an adult. Plus, he's. There's a thing though, because we still have to understand. Naruto has now mainly been in the office working. He does go on missions and stuff. So it's not like he was able to continuously be training, fighting like Sasuke.
Yeah.
And Kurama was the main thing that pushed him over the edge for sure against Sasuke. The healing factor. He no longer has that, which puts him at a big disadvantage. But at least like he has like Frog, Kumite and stuff, his sensing abilities should be better than Sasuke and others. So that should make up for in a way.
Alright, hold
what about you though?
Wait, hold on. Big Baller, what on?
Hey man, what's up?
I'm here, man.
Yo.
I'm chilling.
How y'all doing?
Not too bad. Yeah. I don't plan to have this stream going for much longer, but I mean, what did you think about the chapter?
I think it was a solid chapter, you know. It was I wish, you know, Naruto would have got there by the end of the chapter, but I think otherwise it was a pretty good chapter, you know. The pace is finally picking up, and I think we're about to, you know, hit that time skip pretty soon.
Yeah, I feel like we keep saying that every month, but
yeah,
yeah, but it is what it is. Similar to like I was asking William here, in terms of Boruto's, I guess, ridiculous level of power right now, and how you think Kishimoto is going to handle things with Naruto going forward from a combat standpoint. What do you think about those two things?
I think he's gonna get sealed away or something. He's either gonna die or he's gonna get sealed away. Something that makes Kawaki leave, and something that makes Boruto have to pick up the slack. And same thing with Sasuke.
Interesting. And I mean, like, going forward with the whole, I guess, in terms of the whole consequences with the whole chakra pills, because for me personally, I'm saying this, Kishimoto, if he's thinking right, he can use this as an opportunity to finally introduce the Jogan. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, we still haven't. If that's even going to be manga canon, you know, it might just be anime canon.
That's the next thing too. That is the next thing. I was kind of hoping Boruto would use the Byakugan at some point in the fight.
Yeah, I think that's a weird oversight, because Byakugan is very useful, especially when he's going against Code and he has like the marks, the claw marks. And that 360 view is going to really help with that type of, you know, he's going to have more of a blind spot than if he had two, but at least having one's going to increase his visual field, you know.
I think it is an oversight, especially with the fact that he has Momoshiki's experience as well now, so it wouldn't make sense if he doesn't end up using it at some point. But anyway, this is what it is. Well then, what were you asking before?
Oh, I was basically asking what do you think is gonna happen with Naruto's capabilities and versus code?
Wow, it's it's crazy because, to be honest, with how the story is going, and I guess from a thematic standpoint, that as Big Baller was saying, probably think something's gonna happen to Naruto in order for Boruto to pick up the slack and to tie things in with the whole. My father was a big part of my story initially, but you know, so I think it's going to be a case where we'll see the number one knuckleheaded. What's the title? Number one knuckleheaded.
Number one knuckleheaded ninja.
Yeah, I think as you were implying earlier, William, we'll see Naruto being his old trickster self to compensate for the fact that he doesn't have Kurama anymore.
It's weird that they're treating him like a old grandma just because he doesn't have Kurama. I'm like, I get it. Like Kurama was super strong. He lost a lot of strength, but he's still stronger than I'm pretty sure almost every other Hokage. I mean, other Kage at the moment. So he's stronger than Code at this moment, right?
He should be stronger than Code. Yeah. The thing though with that is again. Is okay, look at Minato, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Minato was a genius, yes. He had the Rasengan, giant Rasengan, all that stuff. But the main thing with Minato, why he was such a threat and could take on armies, was because of his teleportation jutsu. Code has basically a version of that, and Code is more brutal and stuff. So,
true.
Even though Naruto, it's again with Killer when Minato met Killer B and A. They're powerful. Minato is powerful, but his hacks teleporting is what gave him the edge.
Yeah.
So just like we saw in this fight, Code was teleporting out attacks, dude appearing on other person's bodies. He could easily catch Naruto off guard, in my opinion, and get him. And without the healing from Kurama. Yeah.
True. I mean, the fans aren't gonna like it. No, Naruto got nerfed. Naruto got nerfed.
But also we have to remember, right?
Yeah.
Since Naruto forced on to access Kurama's chakra in Shippuden, he was using that non-stop in the war. Forget Sage mode. Then when he really got a hang of it, then he added in Sage mode.
Yeah.
And since then he's been reliant on that. I think it's only one other time we saw him use Sage mode by itself. And that was in the first 12 episodes of Boruto.
The first
with
12
Sumari.
episodes, and when he was tracking, when we had keeping up with the Uchihas, that's special, as I like to call it.
And other than that, it's always Kurama mode and then just adding on the Sage mode. And because Sage mode made it easier to enter, Kurama mode made it easier to enter Sage mode. So he's been reliant heavily on Kurama, and now that is gone. So people know, yes, he's strong. He's a Uzumaki. He has Sage mode, but he has been reliant on something that's now gone.
Yeah. And even though I was kind of complaining about the whole time limit and thing when it comes on to Sage mode, I mean, to go back to the whole fact that, as you were saying, he's been mostly in the office, so it's not like he's been training for real in terms of the time limit. But that's the next thing. What do you guys think about his statement about, wisdom of age when it comes on to the time limit? You think he might have something in his back pocket to surprise us?
No, I just think he's when you get more used to a technique, it becomes more efficient and you learn how to control the chakra. Because if you think about it, when he was when he first got Sage mode, he was just doing 2 Rasen Shurikens. And then it was like, oh, well, I can't use Sage mode anymore. And then during the war, it was like, I can get Sage mode while not even having to like stand still.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, but remember that was with Kurama, and now that is gone. And maybe he was training without that, but I highly doubt that. He has really just been relying on Kurama and being able to go into Sage mode without standing still. Because even Jiraiya, remember, Jiraiya was a old man that had more experience with Sage mode. Naruto mastered it obviously, but Jiraiya still had to use the toads or stay still. And Naruto is still younger than he was, and he hasn't been training or anything, and he's been relying on Kurama. So he's kind of done bad comparatively.
I don't know, because you think about it, in the beginning, when he was first learning Sage mode, Kurama was an obstacle at first. So he had to not only master Sage mode, which Jiraiya couldn't do, but he also had to have an obstacle in the way, a big nine-tailed monster.
Oh wait,
obstacle in the way.
Just to cut you for a bit. What's your name on YouTube again? Sorry.
Salad.
Oh, Salad. Okay. Salad. That's the
one.
But
before.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the thing though. Like, remember when he was fighting the pains. Again, he was using Sage mode very I think that is what he means. Like, he was using it very intelligently. Like, he has the clones back, use the amount he has right now, use distractions, let the pain absorb the natural energy and become a frog. He was using it very, very intelligently in the pain fight.
Yep.
He still lost at the end, but he took out 5 parts,
which is pretty good. Good.
So that might be what he means, like wisdom of age.
What do you guys think about the artwork? I feel like the artwork is just getting better and better.
It's what I've been saying, dog. Like the fierce, the close-up shots that we got of Naruto and Boruto in this chapter, I thought they were pretty damn good. I don't know. How do you see it, William?
To me, the artwork has been great for the last few years. From why I didn't really follow the first 10 chapters because I watched the anime and I watched the movie.
Yeah.
But even the Momoshiki design, the art has been great for years for me. I don't know why I know why people complain, and I was gonna say it. Like, I think one of the main reasons people complain is the art during the fights, because Ikimoto obviously either isn't good at backgrounds during fights or it would take too much time.
You think that's why I got? You think that's why I got a bit confused because
he does the speed line. Yeah, so he does the speed lines a lot.
Yeah,
and you could say he overdoes it, but I could see why, because he probably is not the fastest drawer.
Yeah.
So he has a limited amount of time. So instead of drawing all the backgrounds, speed lines. And that could that's kind of annoying, because to me, if he puts some more backgrounds and stuff, he does sometimes, that would make the fights even better.
I think because I'm an artist. So when I read his mangas, I see he has really even from the beginning, he had really incredible talent. It was just, for a manga, it's you're doing multiple pages of the same character over and over again. So he would overdo it. He would get convoluted. The designs would have so many different aspects of the character and stuff. And then you saw the designs, he had the eyes were super detailed, face was super detailed. So over time, you see him starting to simplify into a more cartoonish, similar to Naruto, where he has big eyes, and more proportional for a kid and stuff like that.
I think one factor as well, because I don't think we've ever heard of Ikimoto and Kishimoto having any serious assistance when it comes on to the Boruto manga, because with the weekly manga, you would usually expect your assistants to do help do inking and drawing backgrounds and stuff, I would imagine, right? So, but I don't think is that really the case with Boruto.
Well, I know Ikimoto in Naruto, he was actually doing background art. You can see it in a lot of the chapters, and he still has the exact same art style.
true.
That's the thing. He's really good. He's really good at he's really to me good at faces, or has gotten way better at faces and character designs. Not to say he's bad at the background buildings, but he puts in the effort in the character designs and stuff. That is where he does it good a lot. Because even with the code swings, it would be cool if you see more of the contact instead of just the impact.
Yeah, because that's why when I'm reading through, I'm like, okay, code teleports behind Boruto. Yeah, did he swing and hit Boruto? Yes, did he slap him? I don't know.
Did he slash? Did he punch? So there he could be more detailed, but he's more detailed in the character designs, and I guess on certain things he doesn't put in as much effort. But for me, the art has been really, I'm not an artist, but for me, the art has been really good for the last few years. No. I could only see why people complaining the fighting, the art in the fighting with all the speed lines and stuff.
Boom, boom, boom. You have Patel saying, honestly, Ikemoto's artwork might take a bigger jump during the time skip, as I believe Ikemoto is proficient at drawing adult and teen characters. Interesting. The next thing we have to factor in, though, is because because of the pandemic, I would imagine he might be working from home as well, and then to meet the deadlines and thing. So that could be another factor. But I think William, I think you basically encapsulated the current issues with the art perfectly.
Yeah, his character designs are great. Boruto, Kawaki, a lot of his character design is just that during fights and movement. But that is what the anime is the anime usually fills in, and maybe the manga should.
Yeah, I know
more on that, but yeah.
I know in his interviews he said he and I noticed this off the jump because I really read the mangas, so he gets a lot of influence from Dragon Ball mangas. So it's less Naruto where you get hand signs and you'll get people thinking and strategizing, but instead of people just kind of whopping each other,
The thing with that though is we have to understand Ikimoto obviously is not Kishimoto. Yeah, so Kishimoto may be really proficient and good at hand details and the hand movements and the kunai coming off of this onto this. But Ikimoto may not be good at that, so he just has to do it what's best for him.
That's true, but I think this might already be the case, but I think Kishimoto can indirectly help him with the art, indirectly, and I put that in quotes, through the current script that Kishimoto might write. Kishimoto might say oh, Boruto does this, probably breaks it down more in the script for him to represent it in the art, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, he probably just says Code and Boruto fight for a little bit and then gives him the dialogue and he just fills in the drawings and stuff.
That could be a next thing too. Hold on.
I'm guessing Kishimoto.
Your dad? Yo.
How's it going?
Not bad. You're joining in late because we're basically soon the ending. But how are you, man?
I was watching a live stream. So I just hopped in because you guys talking about his art. But I'm thinking however.
All right. Let's at least hear what your dad has to say. What did you think about the chapter? The general questions, handling of Naruto, Boruto's current power. What do you?
The chapter, I guess, was very it was really good. I actually liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Just judging from the spoilers I got from Organic Dinosaur.
Yeah,
I was really hyped. It's been a while since I've been hyped for Boruto chapter. This is not any hate towards the Boruto manga.
Yeah,
ever since chapter 55, we were hyped. Oh, what's gonna happen to Naruto? What's gonna happen to Kurama? That's kind of the feeling I had coming into this chapter 64. What's Boruto gonna do with this Momoshiki power that he's gotten recently?
Yeah.
And now I'm not a huge hater on this, but apparently there's this YouTuber I was watching, and he said that how Boruto inherited Momoshiki's power, right? Mm-hmm. And he got Momoshiki's abilities. He said that should have been saved for part 2 of Boruto as kind of fix out power scaling, I guess. So I don't know if it's.
I don't think it's that serious that it really has to be saved for part 2. But
I don't see why would you have to save it, because internet now and seeing a little bit of it is Code Plus knowing why Code himself could really do what he's doing. Yeah. And then when the time skip comes, we could see years later Boruto has now more mastered it.
Yeah.
I mean,
there has to be like some sense of progression at the end of the day.
Yeah, if it came out of nowhere in a way in part 2, that would be kind of...
People would be complaining, trust me. Oh, there was one thing that I wanted to ask you guys even before we go, because I remember when the spoilers were coming out a day or 2 ago, and even with Neverworld, and there was this thing coming about Kishimoto being sexist or something. I don't know. Like, I feel like people just people are just, I don't know. I don't think it's that serious.
I was looking for that page and I didn't find what they were talking about. I thought it was gonna be like
from what I know, it was, I'm guessing, this Spanish translator who probably gets a little early access to the chapters because they're translated in Spanish, a female, a lady. And I guess she took the whole stuff. She took the whole stuff with Hinata as being Kishimoto being sexist. If you're extreme feminist, I could understand, but in the context of the chapters we read, it was basically Naruto being like, the both parents shouldn't go and basically risk our lives leaving our only child.
No, yeah, that was that. I read that and I was kind of disappointed because I would love to see Hinata or any female character, but honestly, it made too much sense for her to stay. Like, she has a kid, and this is a dangerous situation, so she should definitely stay on.
And I think like the next thing too, like personally for me, I've made peace with the fact that there's only so many characters that the Boruto manga seems like it can juggle at one time. Like, it hasn't developed that culture of, oh, let me bring in back X and X and X and X and X characters. It just seems like it wants to just juggle a certain spear of characters and just move forward.
That's what the anime is for.
Exactly. So.
And people may not like the whole thing with, oh, that is what the anime is for, but that is what the anime is for.
That's just literally the... How should I say? For lack of a better term. That's basically the whole that the Boruto side of the franchise has been in since day one. So it's just something we have to come to accept.
Bros, who else is hyped for the Denki fight? Come on.
I would say I'm hyped, but I'm curious to see what kind of scientific ninja weapon he actually has.
Yo, my man.
Sorry, I was talking about the memes that are posted on Twitter. Denki's gonna pull out the Iron Man suit.
If you really think about it, it will be huge. Well, Denki has had real huge character development since episode 1, but this would be like character development. Yeah, it went somewhere.
Yeah, but that Iron Man meme, that just sounds so ridiculous, so funny. Oh boy. All right, guys. Any last words, because I want to end the stream, especially for the sake of the persons who will be rewatching this, since I won't be doing a dedicated review video. I don't want this to be like too long. So, any last words before we go? We can still talk for a bit after I end the stream, if anything, if you guys want. But yeah, any last word for as the young people would say, for the gram?
All I got to say, is Ida, best girl.
Yes, definitely.
And we got the OG best girl. Hinata, the OG best girl. So now she's passing the torch. That's all I got to say.
Okay. I see you are a man of culture.
Man of taste. Yes. Simple man.
William?
Chapter was cool. Can't wait for the next chapter. Honestly, to me, the franchise is in a good place right now. You have the anime episodes, you have the manga to add more, and then all of that. Yeah, it's all good for me. Can't wait for the next chapter and to see what happens. Plus, remember next month is Jump Festa, so a lot of news, hopefully.
It's going to be very interesting. Your dad? What do you have to say?
I'll end up praising Ikimoto's art, I guess, since I joined during that time.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that, I mean, we've come a long way seeing Ikimoto's art from where we got into in the first few chapters. I didn't really like his art, no offense. That bobblehead stuff he gave, I'm not a huge fan of that. But now it's very consistent art. And I really think that in the future, during the time skip, since Ikimoto, I think, is proficient in drawing adult and teen characters, I think we're going to get very good art. Like, you've seen Amato, how well Amato is drawn in the manga.
Yeah.
I agree. He designed Sabuza.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, it's a very good design.
Alright, fair enough. So I guess I'll direct my attention to the audience. Guys, respect for coming out again tonight. This did end up being like, what, half an hour, give or take, longer than I planned, but I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts, my reaction, and the thoughts of the panel of Borutoist is what I'm going to call it. But yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome night. Definitely, I'll see you in the 1,000,001 discussions that we'll be having between now and the final chapter for 2021. So yeah. Sanjae Uchiha, and I'll see you guys in the next Boruto video.
Yes.